Hey, what is going on, your tinfoil hat wearing Talonflame? So it's been a while, but I think Eternatus VMAX is finally making its way back into the meta as a viable deck. It's not tier 1, it's not tier 2, it's probably around the tier 3 zone, but it feels pretty solid against a decent amount of the top decks. It's taken a little bit while and a little bit for the meta to kind of stabilize and shrink down a little bit to kind of a top 3 of the Lugia, Mew, and Lost Box. But now that the meta's kind of solidified itself a little bit, you can tech out the deck appropriately to deal with some of the decks. I think it's hard to deal with all of them. You can deal with some of them. So I'll go ahead and show off my list, talk about it, then we'll get into some gameplay, and I'll show you guys how I'm building it right now to deal with the current format. All right, so obviously we've got a pretty thick Eternatus VMAX lining here, a 4-3 of that, and then the rest of the Dark Pokemon changes up depending on, you know, what's in the format, what's in the meta, or what feels kind of the best and most aggressive. That's what I've kind of gone with this build, is kind of what feels best and most aggressive. So I don't have the Weezing in here like a lot of builds are currently rocking, because Weezing is very good against Lugia and the Lost Box matchup, but I found it to be super clunky and made my Lugia matchup worse overall, besides just being more aggressive, and really hurt the Mew matchup as well. It just felt like those matchups weren't as good, and I'd rather have like really good Mew matchup, really good Lugia matchup by being consistent, as opposed to like adding all the Weezing stuff to get like a better Lost Box matchup, but not even like a guaranteed win in that either, because you're so clunky, than, you know, just being so clunky overall. So we got thick Eternatus line. We're aggressive with the Umbreon's and Gust Effect with the Dark Signal. So we got a 2/2 Umbreon here with the Dark Signal. If you guys don't know what this card does, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So it's like a Gust Effect in a VMAX Pokemon on an ability. Got a 2/2 of that in here. We don't really ever attack with it, just kind of there for that. We got the Drapion in here. This allows us to be really aggressive against the Mew decks in the early game with the Dynamic Tail. Specifically pretty important up against the Meloetta build, I feel like, when we go second. I mean, just going against them in general, it's just nice to have that, get that turn 1 attack going second with the Drapion, which is actually like pretty reasonable to pull off, to be honest. We have, of course, a 4-Crobat V as our draw support, 2 Moltres V in here with the Dire Flame Wings. I prefer this to Dark Patch. It just feels a lot smoother, a lot more consistent than Dark Patch. We play 2 Energy Switch alongside the 2 Moltres V. Like, if I cut the Moltres Vs out of the deck, I would still have to play basic Dark Pokemon. Like, I'd probably add more Zigzagoons, maybe a third Umbreon, maybe a third Zigzagoon, or I could play 2 Moltres V, and then instead of Dark Patch, I play E-Switch to combo the E-Switches with the Dire Flame Wings ability of the Moltres V. So I like that a little bit more than Dark Patch. It feels a little bit more consistent, but I could see Dark Patch being better, to be honest. And of course, 2 Goons in here to help out our math quite a bit. We hit for 270, but we're trying to hit for 280 to 1-hit KO Lugias and Arceus and all that fun stuff. So we got a couple Goons in here for that. I don't currently rock any Choice Belts, but definitely think they're a reasonable inclusion. And from there, the rest of it is pretty straightforward, kind of built around consistency, right? We got 4 Quick Ball, 4 Evolution Intense. I got 4 Switch. This is the current flex spot. Like, if you want to like add anything in here, I'd say cut one of the Switch, but I currently have 4 in here because pretty good. 1 Ordinary Rod. I have found this to be pretty helpful at recovering cards, especially like when we lose Umbreon pieces early on. Or I guess the other card I didn't mention was the Drapion V-Star, which I've been losing a lot and recovering a lot, as well as the Zigzagoons. The Hazard Star ability is such a powerful damage modifier. Like, it just basically effectively gives you like plus 30 damage, and then it also, against Lugia, they usually don't play too many Switch cards or don't have too many options for Switch cards, so also you can like trap something in the active for a turn. It kind of gets knocked out going into your turn through the Hazard Star Poison plus Paralysis, and then you kind of get like a free turn to work with, which is pretty sick. And speaking of the Lugia matchup, to help in that matchup, we also have 4 Temple of Sinnoh, and this is like the big card in this deck that allows it to really have a chance up against the top dog Lugia right now. All special energy cards attached to Pokemon, both yours and your opponents, provide a colorless energy and have no other effects. So they didn't get to use Yveltal, they didn't get to use powerful energy, they're just stuck with a bunch of colorless energy and hitting for 220 with their Lugias, which makes the matchup a lot easier and actually makes it like a pretty reasonable matchup, I feel like, overall. We do play a couple special energy ourselves in the hiding energy, but it doesn't really hurt us to have these in the deck overall, because our attack is a dark and a colorless. So even if we have Sinnoh in play, as long as we don't have both hiding energy on an Eternatus, so don't do that and then put Sinnoh in play, will be usually pretty good. And sometimes we can take advantage of the pivot effect from the hiding energy. So it's kind of like a multi-purpose card. It's like a Switch card, plus it's also an energy card. So it just works out really nice to have a couple hidings in here. I wouldn't do more than 2. But yeah. Also, we got a 4 Seal Stone in here. We don't always use the Drapion's V-Star power, or don't even have an opportunity to use it. So being able to take advantage of a different V-Star power, like the Star Alchemy on the 4 Seal Stone, is great. And then for the supporter cards, and this is our win condition up against the Lost Box deck. I play 4 Judge. 4 Judge in here for the Lost Box matchup. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws 4 cards. Now, Marnie has been one of the go-tos to disrupt the Lost Box decks, but they're all playing a Rangaroo these days to help deal with the Marnie problem. So they use Primate Wisdom, they put a Chorus on top of their deck at the end of their turn, and then if you Marnie them into a guaranteed Chorus on the next turn, so they can usually pull off pretty solid plays from there. So, yeah, I like the Judge instead. Disrupt the top deck. I might go back to the Marnies. That extra card draw is nice. Currently been trying out the Judge as a out to the Lost Box matchup. It's still an unfavorable matchup, I found. Like, overall, it doesn't feel great. But I feel like we do have quite a bit better of a time as long as we're disrupting their hand. So we could go back to Marnie. Does similar stuff if they don't get the Guru out aggressively. But they should be getting out the Guru aggressively. So, I don't know. We got Judge in here for now instead. All right, that's going to do it for the list breakdown. Let's go and look at some gameplay. And if you want to see more gameplay from me with this deck, check us out on our YouTube channel. AzulGG2 video up over there with some more Eternatus action. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. We did lose the coin flip. We do hate going second, but we will manage. Ooh, E-turn start with the energy. Ooh, okay. I like this hand, though. Turn 1 power accelerator, accelerating energy to an Eternatus is always great. We'll get a peek at the matchup as well. See what we're up against here. Clara Raihan. Ooh, it is probably the Lost Box matchup, which is a terrible matchup. So we're going to do our best here, but this one is rough, to be honest. Our win condition really is spam Judge. I do play for Judge, and that's it. That's our win condition, is to play Judge. So hopefully that is enough to take the dub here. Oh, slow start from my opponent. Maybe it will be enough. That does make you think that they probably have a draw supporter in the hand. Most likely. My hand is so good here, though. I kind of just want to play it slow. Let's go with the power accelerator. Well, I can quick ball the ultra ball. Get number on V. Get rid of that. Get the Umbreon V. Will my Drapion V-Star ever do anything? I don't think so. So slow start from them. We got Judges. Sinnoh going to hurt us more than them, probably. So Umbreon V down. Attach. You're going to have to like run between our multi-prize Pokemon to really make our opponent work for their knockouts, I think. Yeah, it's just power. I could have Crobat it for 3 here. It would have been okay. Set up another energy and play on an Eternatus. So I want to set up like 3 Eternatus. I want to set up an Umbreon VMAX. I don't really want to attack with Moltres ever. That's not really something I want to do. I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't have hated a Judge here though. It was a pretty easy tell that my opponent's hand was not great. Or not great, but probably had a Colress. That's what I want to say. Not great, but probably had a Colress. And then we see the Colress. Pretty weak start, but yeah, has the Colress, right? Which pretty predictable there. Goon's gone. Comfy down. So yeah, we want to do some cheesy Judge plays throughout this game. Look to take knockouts and Judge my opponent in the same turn. And if they ever burn through too many switch cards, we could do something really cheesy with the Drapion's V-Star to do like, you know, a power accelerator plus poison knockout like the Manaphy off the bench and get ahead in the prize exchange. But it would have to be really, they have to be like burned through all of their switch cards. It's pretty just unlikely. That would be like pretty insane. They have to have like 0 switch cards left. So I think in this early situation, this early game, we're going to be targeting down their draw support engines. Go after the Comfies. They've already lost on 1 Comfy. So that's going to be our focus here early on is KO Comfies. There's a rope. I'm just setting up the other Eternatus. That's fine. And our Pokemon do have really big HP, except for our Crobats. Crobats don't have that much HP. So that's going to be my opponent's main focus with their Sableye. And then Charizard can come in for some big damage on my Eternatus VMAX later on. So once again, the Judge is going to be key for disrupting the hand and making my opponent whiff. That's really what this game's going to come down. Making my opponent whiff as much as possible. So Eternatus, I think I'm just going to evolve this here. I don't really want to KO the Sableye. I don't really care about that. I'd rather KO the Comfy here. Just done. Let's draw 1 more with the Crobat is the goal here. No Judge, no energy. Did we just whiff? We just whiffed. This is so sad. No draw supporter, no Judge, no energy. Dude, that is absurd. Got the Umbreon here. We can get it back with Ordinary Rod maybe later on. I got nothing to grab to do things with. Have another Eternatus, I guess. We're gonna have to Crobat on the next turn. Wow, that is really disappointing. Very, 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 very disappointed with that draw. We had so many outs. We could have got a Judge. Marnie, not a Marnie. Research. Serena. I mean, there was just like so many things we could have drawn there that would have put us in a fine spot. I do kind of regret not getting the Umbreon V, actually. Probably should have quick followed with this. Well, I do want to get maybe cheesy with the Hazard Star in the late game. But probably should have gone for the KO. All right, well, my opponent has another lackluster turn. Yeah, I get the Umbreon. Okay, Crobat. Too many Crobats in play is a bad thing, though, so we're trying to avoid that. Okay, here we go. A little bit late. Better late than never, I guess. I want to get through these Sinnohs. I don't want them in my deck at all points. I could have Ultra Balled away double Sinnoh there, to be honest. Judge. Everything back to the deck. We're getting okay. We've got another Judge for next turn. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Red End. Probably should have put this actually somewhere else, to be honest. I think it's probably a misplay. But all right. Energy again. So we're going to be switching between Eternatus here. They got a lot of HP. We've got 340 HP on these things. The Crobats, not as much. 180. So, yeah, like I said, the disruption of the Judge is going to have to carry us here. We're going to hope that is our carry in this situation. Man, KOing that other Comfy off the rip would have been so much better than doing this. And it looks like Judge is already working. Slow follow-up from my opponent. Just go into the cram and pass. So I don't really want to Judge again this turn. So like attach, swing. Sure. Dread End, save the Judge for the next turn. Yeah, pretty slow start or pretty slow follow-up turn from my opponent. So I was a Goon. Not going to be doing too much with these Goons, I don't think, in this matchup. Probably going to Ultra Ball away the Goon in the Eternatus. I got to be a little bit careful with that, though. My opponent could definitely take advantage of that and, like, put the Goon back on the bench with, like, an Echoing Horn or something. So I do have to be careful with what I bench. Okay, they're moving up a little bit. Yeah, I definitely am regretting discarding this Umbreon VMAX in the early stages of this game. Okay, maybe I don't have to be too afraid with triple Crobat on the bench. That's like a lot of Sableye attacks that they have to do through all my Judges. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, they got the Sableye attack this turn. Okay, I'm curious to see where they actually end up putting their damage. How many switch cards do they have left? I do want to keep count of that in case I can look for a chance to get cheesy. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think I'm going to get cheesy. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to get cheesy here. I don't think the cheese is going to happen. I could be wrong. We might be able to find an opportunity to get cheesy, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky, though. Here comes that Lost Mine now. We'll see what they try and focus here. We can evolve, you know, the Umbreon and the Eternatus. Those are two things we can evolve. I do want to get this out of the active so they can't hit it with, like, a Snorlax or another Cram. Because they could go ahead and throw 12 here and then Cram this next turn. Really just trying to make them work as hard as possible turn to turn. So we're going to be trying to switch into another Eternatus at some point. Then maybe even try and set up an Umbreon. So getting energy attachments turn to turn is also something I'm going to be trying to focus on doing, especially if they don't hit a Crobat up this turn. And after all the Eternatus, okay, interesting. 180 on my active. So yeah, Snorlax could KO my active next turn. I do want to kind of move that out of the way. I'm gonna go Ultra Ball. Rid of these two. Grab another Eternatus VMAX. A Crobat. Like I said, I don't really want to play another Judge yet. I'm gonna bat. Got a switch. Okay. Could Rod for the Umbreon. I can get an energy attachment, though. That kind of feels bad. So switch. I could go get an energy attachment off this, to be honest. I could also Judge. I think whiffing the energy attachment's a pretty big deal, actually, so I'm going to go do that. Match return. I want to be able to run between Judge, not Judge. They got 6 cards. Could make it 4 random cards. They were setting up for a Snorlax scale on this, which makes you think they have a Snorlax attack on the next turn. I have to switch, though, for next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and Dread End this one. And I'll probably switch into this Eternatus on the next turn. I might Rod the Umbreon immediately. I only have 3 prize cards left. Can we actually pull this one out? I'm, like, actually feeling pretty good about this one now. Like, I don't know. Eternatus is just big. Maybe this matchup isn't as bad as I thought, especially once we get the Judge involved. Especially, like, that first Judge really put a hurt on them. And I got some follow-ups. Okay, there's the Snorlax that I was talking about. I was like, this might make its way. We also have the Temple of Sinnoh in play, which we'll see if my opponent notices that or not. If they go for, like, the twin attack. I get the cheese dub here. Not how I'm trying to win the game, but if it happens, I'm not against it. We might get that cheese dub. Yeah, so I assume they would have the Snorlax play, which means maybe I should have judged on the last turn. I don't know. There's a twin. They need a stadium bump, though. They notice. Oh, no. Oh, okay, they got it. Can I use that? No. I can just free retreat now, though, and I don't actually have to switch. Would be nice. Thump and snore. Still sleeping. We do get KO'd by Sableye now. Got the energy top deck, which is sick. I'll go ahead and Rod now, I guess. I just want to get back that Umbreon. Sure. And I guess the Goon, just so they can't Echoing Horn it. If they Echoing Horn, that turns into the same thing as like a Crobat, so yeah, throw a Judge at him. New 7. Place the Training Court with another Temple of Sinnoh after I retreat, of course. Gotta remember to retreat first. Temple of Sinnoh. Keep the switch in case I want to run away. Boss vacuum away their air balloon. Boom, boom, boom. Dread end for the KO. I don't know. Did we actually pull this off? This matchup has always felt terrible. Every time I played it up to this point. This game, though, early game judge did its work. Slowed him down a little bit. Another judge here. They could go like Sableye KO this, Charizard KO this. So they do still have a line here where they can end up with the win. And I don't think I can really stop them from doing that, to be honest. It would just be, do they get it? Yeah, Sableye knock out this into boss KO this with Charizard. And yeah, I can't stop it, to be honest. There's the Clara for the Sableye. Oh no. All my hard work, is it going to come to nothing? Another judge next turn would be the way to go. They are going to get the fire energy back here as well. So they can go Clara for Sableye. Probably another Comfey. That'd be a sick one too. Psychic Fire. As long as they can move Comfey to the bench. And if they get the fire boss combo on the next turn, not too much I can do about it. I could go on my judge turn, though. I could try and get the Umbreon and then Gust KO a Comfey to like limit their outs to actually finding. They are escape roping here. I mean, I think they're always KOing this, so I think I should just send this up anyways. Like, they're always gonna take the KO there, so I should just send it up. Okay, Sableye up. Like, they have more than, well, I already counted 10. They already used Sableye once. They have it. So yeah, if I can get the Umbreon, I think I actually want to chase down a Comfey here. I think that would be the line to take. Yeah. So if I can go Umbreon, KO Comfey, that would take away one more Pokemon they haven't played to find cards. I don't care if they lost mine again next turn, it's not really doing anything. Still plenty of switch left and ways to move, I think. So I'm not too scared of getting boss trapped. That is something I have to be aware of. There's the knockout. Okay, okay. I'm gonna set up this one. 310 HP. Charizard hits for 250 plus a choice belt. Their goon's gone. Otherwise, they could do some crazy play like that. So I don't think that's happening. Definitely want to judge that hand if I can find a judge. Need another judge here. Ball away. Oh, I was going to burn this switch first. I just messed up. Oh, no. My Crobat is prized. Oh, no. Oh, of course. The Crobat's always prized. My last Crobat's always prized. I feel like every time. You know? Anyone else feel that way about the Crobats? All right. All right. Not looking as good. I'm feeling way less confident now. Messed up on the switch burn. Crobat was prized anyways. All right. We knocked out the Sableye. They got a lot of cards in hand. Double Comfey on the board. I was looking for... Yeah, why is the fourth Crobat always like in the last couple prize cards? Every single time. Oh, no, did they just have it in hand? Am I just cooked already? Charizard, Energy, Choice Belt, Switch card. Oh my gosh, in the hand. Yeah, you can see why this one is a pretty tough matchup. And they had a little bit of a rough start. We caught him with the judge in the mid game, which is what we got to do. Maybe I should have been more aggressive up with my follow-up judges where I had that hand with double judge. I maybe should just like spam judge at them. But it felt like their hand wasn't that great, but they were definitely setting up for a Snorlax play. I don't know. That was a tough call. Anyways, if you guys want to catch some more gameplay from me with the Eternatus deck against some of the better matchups, the Lost Box is tough. Check out the second YouTube channel, AzulGG 2. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.